Namaste students. Welcome to another edition on Vedic IAS Prelims Roundup. I hope you are in very good stage of your preparation. We are just here with our attempt to help you in your prelims of 2023. In this Prelims Roundup, we are going to cover certain questions which may be of interest to the examiner in the 2023 prelims. So once again, wish you the very best. Let us be part of your endeavor. I hope you will be able to realize your dreams. So once again, best of luck for everybody. So let us start our session. So the first question is, arrange the following islands from north to south. 1, Senkaku Island. 2nd, Okinawa Island. 3rd, Takeshima Island. 4th, Taiwan Islands. Select the correct answer code. So the question for you is, select the answer code, arrange the islands from north to south. So I'm waiting for your response. So you have your question on your screen. And who has got a faster fingers? Let us see. But mark your answer correctly. You have the option to arrange the following islands from north to south. So the answer for this question, I'll enter your surprise. Anybody else who wants to see, but I'm just going to give the response within 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the response. The answer is B. The answer for this question is B. So B is the correct answer. The answer from north to south will be 3, 2, 1, and 4. The order will be Takeshima Island, Okinawa, and Senkaku Island, and finally the Taiwan Islands. So this is area of interest with you. Anybody who's watching the current affairs for the last 1 year, you know that there is the interest of China and Taiwan Straits. The question may be directly on Taiwan Straits, but it can be of Japan, because America is treaty bound to protect Japan, and any American intervention in Taiwan, military intervention over China, will definitely come into play with Okinawa Islands, because this American base is centered in Okinawa Islands of the Japan, and this is very close over there. So if there is China decides to intervene in Taiwan and America is treated bound to protect Taiwan, then the Okinawa Islands and the islands come into play. Senkaku Islands is also very important in that context. So I am here be leaving you with a map of the area, so you can understand from north to south what is the position. So Takeshima, then Okinawa, Senkaku Islands, and Taiwan. These are all within the US protective umbrella. So that is how these island chains are important from the perspective of international relations. So let us move to the next question. Second question available to you is, consider the following statements about global commons. What are global commons? This is the first statement. These are located outside the sovereign jurisdiction of any one state. The second statement is, these are those resources which are neither owned by anyone nor shared by a community. Which of these following statements are correct with respect to global commons? Option 1 is 1 only, B is 2 only, C is both of them, and D, neither of them. So I'm waiting for your answers. What is the answer? You are please refer. So the question is in front of you and waiting for your answers. What are global commons? Which of these statements are correct about global commons? So your time is up. Shall I count? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see the answer. Answer is A. What do you mean by global commons? That is statement 1 is correct. Global commons are located outside the jurisdiction of any one state and require common governance by the international community. Statement 2 is also incorrect. The global commons are resources that are not owned by any one state, nation state, but are accessible to everyone in the international community. They are not resources that are neither owned by anyone or shared by a community. So this is the definition of global commons. And then what is commons? I'm just expanding on this answer. Commons refers to the resources that are accessible to everyone in a community without any individual ownership. Examples of commons include public parks, community centers, common rooms. However, certain regions and resources that are not owned by any particular nation state and require the shared governance by international community. These are also referred to as global commons or resi communis humanitatis. The concept of global commons has gained significance due to increasing global interdependence and the need for cooperation between nations to manage shared resources sustainably. The most common examples of global commons are Earth's atmosphere, Antarctica, ocean floor, outer space. These are the resources essential for the survival and well-being of all people and are significant ecological, economic, and social importance. The atmosphere is a global commons that provides life-sustaining oxygen and regulates the Earth's climate. However, the atmosphere is also subject to pollution and climate change, which has severe consequences for the planet's health and human well-being. Antarctica is again a global common. It's not a part of any nation state and is governed by Antarctic Treaty System, which promotes scientific research and peaceful cooperation among the nations. Antarctica is home to unique species and ecosystems that are vital for biodiversity and planet's health. The ocean floor is yet another global commons that is essential for marine life and planet's climate. The ocean floor is rich in minerals and resources, making it a target for mining and exploitation. Therefore, the need for sustainable management and conservation of this resource is very crucial. Finally, the outer space is a global common that is vital for the scientific research and technological advancement. However, a space is also becoming increasingly congested with debris of satellites, raising concerns about long-term sustainability of space exploration. See, the instruments like anti-satellite systems, which is governing the military mode of space, is again a concern in regard to global commons. So in our question, in conclusion, global commons are essential resources that require collective management and conservation. The sustainable use of global commons is crucial for the survival and well-being of all people and the planet. So let's move to the next question. Okay, consider the following statements regarding the G20 summit. The first G20 summit was held at USA in 2008. The last G20 summit was in 2022 was held at China. The third statement, the theme of the G20 summit 2023 is Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, or One Earth, One Family, One Future. The next G20 summit of 2024 will be held at Brazil. Which of the above statements are true? A, 1, 2, and 3, B is 2, 3, and 4, C is 1, 3, and 4, and D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm waiting for your answers. So time up. So your time is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is the answer. Let's see what's the answer. Answer is C. This is the emblem of G20 summit of 23. So G20 is there. Bharat is held in India. The second summit, this summit 2023 is held in India, in Delhi. And the theme is Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, that is one earth, one family, and one future. This is the theme of this year's. And G20 is a very important. I'll explain what is G20 and why it is important. Almost 85% of the resources is there. Statement 1 is true. The first G20 summit was held in USA in 2008. The statement 2 is false. The last G20 summit was held in Indonesia. It is not in China, it was in Indonesia. The theme was recover together, recover stronger. Because in the context of the COVID-19 episode, etc., the global recession, there's a problem. So the theme was recover together and recover stronger. The statement 3, the summit is to be held in New Delhi in September. The next summit, 2024 summit, will be in Brazil. And after that, it is in South Africa. So the timeline is very, very clearly demarcated. And for the next, this one year, 2023, India is the chair of the G20. So what is G20? It's an international forum comprising of 19 countries and the European Union. It brings together the world's major economies to discuss the coordinate global economic issues. G20 members represent the 85% of global GDP and 2/3 of the world population. It's established in 1999. The G20 serves as a platform for addressing global economic challenges, promoting financial stability, fostering economic growth, and enhancing international cooperation. The group holds annual summits where leaders discusses and make decisions on various topics, including trade, finance, climate change, and development. G20 plays a crucial role in shaping economic policies and fostering international dialogue and collaboration. So that's a very important group with 85% of global GDP and 2/3 of the world population. So that is the significance and importance of the G20. So let us move to the next question of the quiz. Turkey is surrounded by, one is Black Sea, Aegean Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Adriatic Sea. Select the correct answer code. A is 1, 2, and 4. B is 1, 3, 4. C is 2, 3, 4. And D is 1, 2, and 4. So what is the correct code? Please identify. So Turkey is surrounded by Black Sea, Aegean Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Adriatic Sea. So Agustin Binil, your answer is D. Let's see what is the correct answer. I'm just waiting for some more time for others to catch up. Anybody waiting for the answer, please come up. We have already spent 15 minutes into the discussion. So anyone else with any more responses? I'm just holding it up. So let's see what is the answer. Answer is D. D is 1, 2, 3. So Turkey is surrounded by following seas. What are the seas? Black Sea is located in the north of Turkey. The Black Sea borders the northern coast of the country. Aegean Sea is situated to the west of Turkey. The Aegean Sea separates the western coastline of Turkey from the Greek islands. Mediterranean Sea located to the south of Turkey. The Mediterranean Sea borders the southern coast of the country. Obviously, you know, Turkey is in news because of the various reasons. Definitely the last 2 months ago, there's a severe earthquake, Anatolian plate crushing into the European plate as a cause of the earthquake. But it's also in the news because of happenings around it. ISIS, Turkey is intervening. Like it's a part of the NATO, but it is imported S-400 systems. So that is in conflict with USA and its interests, and USA has denied as F-35 to Turkey. So that is very important. And Turkey is also a leader of the Islamic nation. So there is always a conflict. Turkey is ganging up with Pakistan and sometimes against the interest of India. So Turkey in various respects is very, very important. So let's see and Turkey is also important because of its access to Black Sea. So this is the map of Turkey and the area surrounding it is Black Sea. Here is the Mediterranean Sea and here is the Aegean Sea. So this respect is very, very important area of the globe. So next to it is Nicosia, Cyprus. Then Syria is also not far away. It's in fact, very close to the region. So that is international relations, very, very volatile, very current. It's not, it's near door neighbor to the Central Asia. So Turkey is very important. Let's see the next question in international relations. So towards a common future, the Blue Charter or ocean governance connectivity agenda for the trade investment are all associated with which of the countries? ASEAN, the Commonwealth, European Union, Antarctic Treaty System. So towards common future, the Blue Charter of Ocean Governance connectivity agenda for trade and investment are all associated with which countries or which group of nations? So anyone with your response? I'm waiting for your responses. Anyone? So I'm just counting down. Let us see what is the answer for the fifth question with regard to common future Blue Charter on ocean governance connectivity agenda for trade and investment is all associated with. Yes, the answer is the Commonwealth. Answer is B, the Commonwealth. Towards a common future, the Bright Charter on ocean governance connectivity agenda for trade, etc., is all associated with the Commonwealth. It's all associated with the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is an intergovernmental organization of 54 member countries, primarily the former territories of British Empire. These initiatives reflect the Commonwealth's focus on promoting shared values, sustainable development, ocean conservation, and fostering trade and connectivity among the member nations. Ajina Alex, I'm sorry, your answer is not correct. You can have a better response in the future. So Commonwealth, why is Commonwealth relevant? Because Commonwealth is Charles, King of England, coronation. So in that sense, Charles is the King of England, is the leader of the Commonwealth. So in this context, if a question about Charles may not be directly answered, but Commonwealth is important in that lens. It's a 12 British territories, and these territories have a new leader, Charles. But it happens once in a very long time. So probably they want to ask this question about Commonwealth. It's a fertile time. So that is why it is relevant to UPSC. So let's go to the one of the last questions of your section. I hope you are benefiting from it. Some of the pointers for your exam prelims. The agreement governing access to Bosphorus and Dardanelles Strait is called. So this is the question. The agreement governing access to Bosphorus and Dardanelles Strait is called what? A. Montreux Convention. B. International Strait Rules. C is United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Seas. The Panama Canal Treaty. So what is the answer for the sixth question? When you answer these questions, when you attempt these questions, you are just your fundamentals in understanding the conventional current world geopolitics, your interest, current affairs is being checked. So this is really a little interesting topic areas. So I'm just waiting for your responses. Anyone with your answers? We are attending the UPSC Prelims Roundup session of the Vedic IAS Academy. Today we are discussing the international relations and polity. This week, yesterday we had on science and technology, we have the economics and other areas coming up soon, tomorrow and after tomorrow. So what is the answer for the sixth question? Anyone? We can hazard a guess. So let me wind it up. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer, let me give it to you, share with you. The answer is A. Montreux Convention is a treaty that was signed in 1936 and regulates the transit of naval vessels through Turkish Strait, especially Bosphorus and Dardanelles Strait. Turkey has a unilateral access control, and it can restrict operations of the fleet over there. Any new ship, new fleet can be prevented by the prevent by Turkey. So it's a very unique arrangement. Any fleet part of the ships which are based in Caspian Sea, etc., these can have free access. But no, if the Turkey can introduce the provisions, no new naval ships can be present in that area. Now, what is United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Sea? You must have heard about it. What is in brief, I can tell you is this is a treaty adopted in 1982, establishes the legal framework for the use and protection of the world oceans and the resources. It addresses various aspects of the maritime navigation, include transit passage through straits used for international navigation. India is part of the treaty. India is part of this agreement. We, in fact, wants country to agree to this, but China has some limitations on that. There are a lot of issues, frictions going about with some other countries like China not agreeing fully with this terms. So that is why this is United Nations and clause can be a question by itself. So it is relevant in that sense. Montreux Protocol, you can definitely see why it is important. There is no other treaty which is similar to Montreux Convention. So it can be called by many other names. So let us see what is the next other two. Panama Canal Treaty was signed between the 1977 with the United States. Panama, the straightforward Panama Canal Transfer Zone regulates the transit of vessels through the canal, similar to Montreux Convention, governs the transit of naval vessels through Turkish Strait. So it's access between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. Panama Canal is a transit between Panama Canal is transit between Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. Similar, the topic will be Suez Canal. Because there was last year there was ship blocking the Suez Canal, international treaty. So this is also important. So various canal treaties, and there are other canals or access straits between India and China. That is in the sense of you have the Andaman Nicobar and Malacca Straits. The straits are so important in that dimension. I can't cover every question, but I can point here later. So Malacca Strait, what is the position of Malacca Strait? There are other straits across the world also. So Strait of Taiwan, etc. So that's also familiar. The question on straits is also due for the exams. So, and next, international strait rules. This is a convention with regard to the strait rules. These rules adopted by International Maritime Organization provide guidelines and recommendations for the safe and efficient navigation of ships through international straits, including those governed by Montreux Convention. So what is the rule which governs the transit of ships? What kind of ships can transit? How the ships should transit? And remember, the very volume part of the international trade is carried through oceans. And these transit rules become very important. So this is international strait rules, is the rules governing the transit of ship. So this is the legal framework. You unclose international strait rules, etc. The legal framework of the international trade. So I'm into the final question of this prelims roundup. I hope it has been helpful for you. Let's see what's the final question. Consider the following statements regarding India's role in the UN peacekeeping missions. So India's contribution to peacekeeping began with the participation in UN in Korea in 1950s. India became the first country to deploy all-women contingent to a UN peacekeeping mission. Which of the following is true with regard to the above statements? A, 1 only, 2, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So I'm waiting for your answers, responses. This is a fairly easy question. So, dear students, please attempt it. Just be careful. You answer right, 2 marks is in your kitty. That's for you. 2 marks is there for your taking. Yes, we hear about India and the UN. So what is India's role with United Nations peacekeeping force? So what's your response? Anyone? Waiting for your responses online. So what is the response for this question? Anyone? This is the final question of this today's quiz. I hope you have been able to enlighten. You have get a rough idea about some of the questions coming up. So let me call it a day and let us see what is the answer is. What the answer is, let's see. Answer is C. C is the correct answer. The first statement is true and the second statement is true. India's involvement in UN peacekeeping operations dates back to the 1950s, when it contributed troops to United Nations Command during the Korean War. Since then, India has been actively involved in various UN peacekeeping missions around the world. The second statement is also true. India made history by becoming the first country to deploy an all-woman contingent to UN peacekeeping mission. In 2007, the Indian government deployed a female engagement team as part of the UN mission in Liberia, MIL. The contingent played a very crucial role in supporting local women and children, addressing gender-based violence and promoting women's empowerment in Liberia. So both the statements are true. And so the answer is C. So this is the final slide, final question. I hope you all had a very wonderful time in answering these questions. I hope this is help you in your preparations on for the May 28th Union Public Service Commission prelims. I know you have already received your hall tickets. You have maybe my suggestion is you should start scouting your center. Don't wait till the last moment. Prepare your hall ticket, prepare your exam kits with pen and suitable replacement for the pen. Find out your exam hall and be comfortable. So best wishes for your preliminary exam once again from myself and the entire Vedic team. Thank you so much, all my students. Best wishes. Jai Hind.